It's the 49th NAACP Image Awards, and this year we're also celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So here on the red carpet, we ask the celebs, what's their dream for the future?
Oh man, I dream for so many things.
You know, my dream for the future is that women can one day look at themselves and be completely happy with who they are, where they are in life, and really see all of the strength that a woman carries.
I feel that I have this sort of like tree of a dream that has lots of different branches, right? And a lot of those things are for, you know, sort of personal development, first and foremost. I have dreams of being in service every act of my life. And also, if I may be very personal for a moment and transparent, I dream that every action and word that every action I do, every word that I say, communicates the heart of God. That's a big one for me.
I'd like to quote President Roosevelt on Dr. King's Day, because I think it speaks directly to our times and what we're going through. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. So stand up.
And from Me Too to Time's Up and fighting for equal pay, we've seen men and women face those fears, stand up, and speak out against injustice, continuously fighting for Dr. King's dream.
We as a culture, we sometimes have a way of excusing behavior, predatory behavior. When you look at artists like R. Kelly, you know, he has been accused, has been proven to do things that we all know is predatory, yet we all still show up his concert. So when you do that, what type of message does that send to African American women about coming up and telling their stories? Then also when you're talking about wage gaps, it goes to us as black men to make sure we are lifting up our black women. And the thing is that if we're gonna be in these spaces and have our privilege and our power, the first thing we need to use it for is for our black women. Because when you look about Martin Luther King and being here today, that's what he did. The reason Coretta stood by his side is because he lifted her up at every moment. The reason Rosa stood by his side is because he lifted her up. And that's what we need to continue to do in 2018 for our black women.
I mean, you have to know your worth and you have to be willing for the opportunity to go away. And everybody has to stand together in that, because everybody can. Sometimes your rent is due and you got to take what they give you. But when you get to a point where you can actually say no, you hope that you can find a way to stand up and go, nah, I can no longer take less than what I deserve. So I wish you well with that project, and I'm sure you'll find someone that will be amazing, but it won't be me. And then sometimes miraculously they come back and they find the money, because they had the money. They had it all along.
Pay people of color what you owe us. That's it. You know, it's one of those things, like, we don't necessarily talk as artists how much we make, so you don't know to an extent, but you do in terms of there's stats and things out there. There was an article talking about how much, like, Viola got compared to some other, Nicole Kidman or something like that, and that's unfortunate. And I think for all of us, it's important to speak up when we can about those disparities in hopes that, you know, one day that's not even an issue. You get paid for the work. It's the work.
That's a wrap here at the NAACP Image Awards, but you know we'll keep you covered all award season long. For HipHollywood.com, I'm Vanessa Barnett.